Last year, one of the great benefits in my life is to have a relationship with a genius in Jeremiah Wright Jr. I always ask him, what are you reading? And he said, you've got to read The New Jim Crow. It will change your ministry. I said, okay, if you say it, I'm gonna grab it, because he's never spoken with hyperbole about anything as it relates to reading. He only engages in hyperbole when he is speaking of me in derogatory terms. And so I immediately went and picked up the book, and I must testify that the book has literally changed my approach to ministry, because she who is turning this justice system upside down has come here also. Permit me this moment to testify. 2 o'clock this morning, I received a phone call from a mentee of mine who is away in school in a rural area in Kansas. This young man has gotten into some trouble, and as a consequence, the first thing they did, Michelle Alexander, was call the police. But they did not know that she who has turned the justice system upside down has impacted Freddie Haynes. And so as a consequence, when he called me, I said, put the police on the phone. Put them on the phone right now. Well, to make a long story short, we had a very engaging conversation, a lively conversation. But because of what I had read by Michelle Alexander, that young man did not go to jail last night. Instead, he was in the home of someone in that area, because we've got to keep our brothers from getting into the system, because once they get into the system, they are legally discriminated against in this new caste system called the New Jim Crow. You taught me well, Michelle Alexander. So she who is turning the justice system upside down, Michelle Alexander, read for yourself her brilliant yet brief bio in the program. You'll discover she's a graduate of Vanderbilt University, Stanford Law School. The girl is just bad to the bone. On top of that, she has served an internship, rather as a law clerk, I should say, to Justice Henry Blackmun of the Supreme Court. She is engaged in innovative litigation for nonprofit groups. She is just super, super bad. In a real sense, I equate her. And last night, we were blessed so profoundly by Pastor Small. He threw down in a major way, and as he closed it out, talking about the relay race, all I could think about when I applied it to Michelle Alexander, marvelous Michelle Alexander, is the fact that she has received the baton from one sister by the name of Mamie Till. Mamie Till perhaps received the baton from Harriet Tubman. Y'all should know Mamie here in Chicago, because Mamie, August 28th, 1955, she ignited the civil rights movement by making our nation face itself so it could fix itself. Because Mamie said, after you did my boy Emmett wrong down in Mississippi, instead of having a closed casket funeral, I'm going to open up the casket so this nation can see itself for what it is and for what Jim Crow is doing to these yet to be United States of America. Guess what? There's a book that you ought to get called The New Jim Crow, because Michelle Alexander, in the tradition of Mamie Till, has opened up the casket of the criminal justice system and told our nation, you need to take a good look at yourself to see what you are doing, especially to our young African American men. Here's the beauty of it. A new civil rights movement is about to jump off. Don't you miss this train, because a new civil rights movement has been instigated and initiated by a brilliant bad sister by the name of Michelle Alexander. And so in the name of Mamie, in the name of Harriet, in the name of Sojourner, thank you for carrying the baton. Samuel Dewitt Proctor Conference, would you now welcome with me this brilliant, bad, bold sister, the one and only, matchless Michelle Alexander.
Thank you so much. That was quite an introduction and a lot to live up to.